Let's go ahead to Group A, and I want to start with Benfica Eintracht Frankfurt. So I also had this one circled. I was kind of all in on this Benfica team, got some cold water poured on myself after the initial loss to Barcelona. But here we are. In case you didn't know how quickly things can turn, proof point number one, this Benfica side. So this match, pretty much as even as it gets. Stats across the board, almost every major category, super balanced. Benfica wins the XG battle 0.9 to 0.7.
Nice.
Neither side wanted to give an inch. That Frankfurt backline built around Sophie Kleinherne and Sara Doorsoun, super tough to pierce. Shout out to Doorsoun, by the way, who might make my group stage starting 11, just on the sheer badassedness of her prison tats, which are just so fucking intimidating. She's also awesome. Frankfurt looked dangerous pretty much all the way through. You know, we've talked about Anyomi, Freigang, and that attack. They were here for it. Benfica definitely looked scrappier, maybe more willing to take chances and force the issue and try to make something out of nothing. Kika Nazareth, she was a menace out there. Pretty much the main purveyor of making some things out of nothings. It seemed like on 4 or 5 different occasions, Benfica was just all of a sudden with the ball in a dangerous area. They've got a really cool, unorthodox, very unpredictable kind of attack, which just makes them interesting. It feels like nobody is playing ball the way they are. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it's kind of cool to watch. And they're just kind of playing from these really funky angles. Even with the defenses locking in, though, you did get the feeling this game had one goal and probably only one goal in the chamber. Yep. 71st minute, another out of nowhere chance when a ball just kind of scooting around in the middle of the park gets claimed by Benfica's Anna Gasper just before Frankfurt's Tanja Pawollek could reach it. For a second, looked like nobody wanted the ball. Gasper wins it. She finds Nazareth. Wicked 3-point turn from Kika. Ballsy pass into Marie-Yasmine Alidou, who was nuzzled just squarely between Doorsoun and Pia-Sophie Wolter. Mimi Alidou chests it down and just obliterates it. What a fucking goal. Like, I screamed in my house. I was just like, oh my God, like this is just what I'm here for. Benfica, who looked rocked, like I mentioned, after their opening loss to Barca, now sit on 6 points. 3 points ahead of Frankfurt with the tiebreaker and a chance to put a stranglehold on the group when they head to Germany for the rematch. But something tells me this is going to be another nip and tuck. Let me just also say this. I'm not sure what the general consensus is around the enjoyment level of a 1-0 match, but I absolutely fucking love that scoreline. It's so tense. 1-1 is in play. A team giving up 2 goals and the game turning into a 6-pointer. That's in play. If neither happens, you just get a team clutching 3 points, living on a razor's edge right until the very last second of the match. I'm just here for like more 1-0s.
Totally agree. I've talked about it with college football. There's a popular internet quote of, what's it like to feel so alive and simultaneously want to die at the same time? And I feel like if your team is up 1-0, or even a lot of times if you're down 1-0, you can feel both of those feelings simultaneously. So I'm completely co-signing that with you. The 1-0 scoreline is great. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a 1-0 Frankfurt win in Germany in this rematch. I think you hit on all the key points. I want to mention I liked that the announcer referenced multiple times the importance of this match being played at Estadio da Luz. My Portuguese is about as good as my Norwegian, but that roughly translates to Stadium of Light. That is where the Benfica men's squad plays. There are multiple churches and cathedrals in that neighborhood, and I thought it was cool that the announcer routinely referred to the stadium as a footballing cathedral. I thought that was a nice touch, and I just think that's badass. The more times, obviously my club, OL Reign, out here in Seattle, they play at Lumen Field now, which is where the Seattle Seahawks play NFL football and where the Seattle Sounders play in the MLS. It's just rad to see these teams have enough juice that they're able to kind of play in these great football cathedrals, if you will. So shout out to the announcer for referencing that. But I think Benfica, like you said, they play kind of a weird style. They have that Portuguese style where it's are we super defensive and rough and tumble? Yeah, kind of. But also, do we have players with great skill who will hit back heel passes and will do little tricky no looks and stuff like that and try to create some offense? Yeah, we do a little bit of that too. On the goal, you nailed it on Pawollek for Frankfurt. I've enjoyed watching her play. I think she's been a really solid midfielder for Frankfurt throughout these matches. That giveaway, the ball's kind of bouncing in the middle of the field, and there are 2 players from each side, just kind of both 12 feet from the ball. And they're like, wait, are you going to run and get that? And then you can tell it's oh, wait, I got to win this. And Pawollek has a little bit of a bad moment there with the giveaway that leads to the goal. But that's just going to happen sometimes in those kind of unsure moments. Eintracht Frankfurt has pedigree. They have a footballing history and culture. I think these teams were more evenly matched than I expected going into it. And you called it last episode. Benfica couldn't have been happy with 1 point in this match. And they played like they were not interested in a draw whatsoever. They played like they needed to win, and they did.
Yeah, no shade on Pawollek. I think she's had a really solid group stage.
Great.
That's just what happened on that one play.
Yeah.
And really just a special sequence. And I think the announcer also called it out too. I believe that was Benfica, the women's team's first goal in La Catedral, which was just a cool moment. Now, I got to shit on the cameraman a little bit with regard to this one. Because as the final whistle gets blown, and you can kind of go back and watch this, shout out to Doorsoun for, obviously making these games available on YouTube streaming. You can go back and watch this. The camera freezes on the referee for about a minute after the whistle's blown. And I'm like, I don't want to see the fucking referee for a minute. The whistle's blown. The referee's job is over. Like, she's off the clock. Get her out of here. I want to see the players kind of celebrating. And I'm just like, watching this game. I'm so fucking invested in this Benfica team. And I love the Frankfurt team too.
Yeah.
These two teams kind of battling it out for second place behind Barcelona is just going to give us weeks of interesting content and subject matter kind of noodle on internally and just actually watch on the screen. So I'm super invested in this match. The whistle blows and I just want to see the reaction. I just want to see the coaches and the players and like maybe a crowd shot. Maybe that wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a solid minute of a referee kind of moseying around looking for another referee to shake hands with. It's like, what are we doing here?
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm totally with you. We talked about it with the NWSL's media rights deal, where like part of the deal is put more cameras in this stadium so we can get all the crowd shots that an elite sporting event deserves to have. So hopefully the Champions League follows suit here. Because, not here for any ref shows, whether it's, refs making egregious calls or ticky-tack calls. I don't want to see that. And, thanks for doing the job. We need you out there, but get off my screen when the match is over. I'm totally with you. I want to see a crowd shot in that moment because that is a historic moment for a Benfica women's side.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. No, we got them. I'm sure they'll take our input on that one.
Sure. And if you want to get us offline and we can chop it up, I'm happy to do that too.
Yeah.